What is going on, penny boys and gals? What's going on, stock traders? And welcome to our 5 p.m. Eastern weekly charting live technical analysis live stream. Myself, MetaMatt, also known as What the Duck, and as always, our technical analyst specialist, BTCJ. How are you doing?
What's up, man? Doing well. How are you doing?
Good. I know you must be tired. You said you had a 9-hour
Yeah,
trip, a few delays. You're sitting out in the cold
yeah,
a little bit. It sounded
yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's been a rough day, but I'm
It's been
happy
a.
that I'm happy I made it to destination well in time. Well,
I'm
in time.
sorry. I'm sorry you had a
Good.
rough day, but as far as the trades you've been putting out so far in our blog, for
Yeah.
those of you who are currently with us in the live Discord, I posted the graphics to some of our open plays. Currently, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there are around 8 of them. They're all up right now above entry. We have a few bearish plays, so those are shorts looking for a move down, and we have a bunch of bullish plays as well. I know, we already hit a few pretty big plays in the past with DWAC save. I know you also called out you're actually looking at right now on your screen, pretty cool short trade there for the Australian dollar to the US dollar currency pair, which we've been recently just talking about currency pairs in general in our blog. For those of you who, might want to get involved, in all that and just figure out how that works. I'm going to post a few links to some of those.
Yeah, and
Blog.
if anybody's like interested in that and they're like, yeah, but where do I trade this? Well, then you gotta ask me in the DMs to give you a link to a broker or trading platform, because I don't want to publicly like put my links to platforms in the Pennyboy server. But if you need to get set up, I mean, if that's the question that you're running into, like, yes, cool, but where do I trade? Then you're feel free to DM me. So yeah, just putting that out there.
So how did that play turn out? The one that you were shorting.
So that went very well, right? Just last week, what did we say? We were looking at just two simple EMAs, the 20 and the 50, on a daily time frame, with the premise that mostly, right, when you get that cross on the daily or the weekly time frame, typically you see a bigger move in that direction of the cross, which last week we've got that, and it was on Thursday as well. So that was right here on Thursday the 1st. That was this candle, and we basically, well, suggested the short due to the fact that, well, we got this cross in a bearish fair value gap. I think this is personally on its way lower down, and I've had around 3 trades all short this week on this particular pairing. But my assumption is that the US dollar is going to be the last currency standing, that most other currencies in the world are actually macro bearish against the dollar. And whenever I see a good opportunity to short whatever down to the dollar, it could be pound, yen, Australian, Canadian, whatever is not the dollar, I'm always very fond of looking for short positions, because my thesis in the end is going to be that it's the last one standing, the dollar. So I like to short it down, and I think this chart is on its way down still. So as far as those, well, as long as we were trading under that EMA dead cross 2050 EMA, I suspect that price is going to get drawn here to the lower levels on my chart, here, and here. So ultimately, and this is something that I'm just going to be focusing on for the coming week and the coming weeks, right? I have my thesis. My thesis is bearish. I have my targets, and I see moves to the upside as shorting opportunities. So I'm always basically playing in the same direction, short, until we get back above that particular EMA cross. So just sticking with the bias. It doesn't have to be one trade all the way down. Basically enter when it bounces back up. I'm short, and at some point, right, if you would play this, that high there, that would be the point above which it's no longer valid to go short, at least in the short term. But yeah, we can cruise through some of these, but this one came to my attention, well, since we've talked about this extensively last week. And this right here, it's not about the ticker, right? It's not about the ticker, it's about the price action. And whatever you're looking at, you can just look at this chart, frame it in your mind, and whatever you see in the future that shows you something very similar like this, just know that that is a signal that you're likely coming down a bit more. Not because the EMA is cross, it's a lagging indicator. It's basically confirming what price action has already told us, that it's essentially bearish. But yeah, we can move on. I don't want to bore the equity people too much with my with my FX, but I like to trade
equity
this.
bores you, right?
Bro, I like to trade this. I like to trade crypto, and I even like to trade commodities all more than I like to trade the boomer market. We're just here. We're just here to provide the TA, but that's the last market I want to be trading. But yeah.
And I definitely understand the importance of the stuff. I mean, it's the easiest one to understand for people who haven't ventured out into the other worlds. But I personally do agree with you that it's not only more fun, not more interesting, but I think this is more lucrative to be
I
true.
think this is also really something for Prime Patrick, right? PP with all the fundamentals surrounding FX, where you get your economic data and so on and so forth. I never trade fundamentals, but I know people who are well into that and like looking at the numbers and so on in advance. So
Well,
it
speaking of which, actually, our
yeah.
Rest of Retired newsletter is a very, very, very based off of fundamental analysis. Mr. Stocklog Profits Lee is the one who posts those trades out there. He it looks like September 30th
Bro,
of last year.
you got to get that Disney bull propaganda out of here,
No,
bro.
no. See, here's the deal. We actually put out a blog trade idea, and ours is up. It is the bullish one. Your two bearish ones, we didn't end up taking because they didn't
Crazy.
hit the entry, but
I never took
we're
a
up.
long on the Disney.
I think I actually put that one myself. I do put in some of my own trades every once in a while along
Nice,
with yours.
nice,
But
nice,
that one, I want to protect us in case it did go up. And I was looking at 96.61. I believe it was
nice.
based off of one of your levels you put
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
chart. So,
96.61 was my resistance level, and if we got above that,
yep.
I was previously in a swing short on Disney, right? And I had a 50% allocation in that, and I cut the trade well before any of this recent nonsense happened. At this point, like my idea on Disney, right, is that that's fun because higher prices mean better prices to go short from. Like, and this is what I'll then see a lot. Like, oh, is your thesis now invalidated that yeah you're not going below 79? Like, absolutely not. This is still, to me, a bearish chart. Yes, I understand that people are making money in longs, but I've clearly said this exact thing. What I'm going to repeat now is that I am interested to short this back down to way lower levels, below 80, below 70. And I basically see moves to the upside. Like, if I just, let's invert the chart here for a second, right? Let's invert the chart and
Now it's bearish.
let's invert the chart and let's basically move the candlesticks, because a lot of people, right, they have trouble looking for shorts, they have more ease looking for longs. I'm just gonna get these EMAs out for a second. I mean, this right here, this chart, yes, bearish, but locally here, I mean, you have a lot of room to basically, well, we have that high, this low, and then we've gotten all the way back there. I personally think that the trend on Disney macro-wise is rotating. I'm not saying go short here, absolutely not. I am looking at 118.18 and I am looking at 126.48 as my two my two next levels that I personally want to play from. Always the same thing. So I'll go back to the normal chart, right, and go back to normal candlesticks. But that's still my plan. I cut my trade like way below where we're at now, and I always said I'm just gonna look for higher for the same shorting opportunity. So what I want to see is move above 118.18, 4-hour candle close back below. That's a short. If it doesn't set up from that level, then 126.5, move above, 4-hour candle close back below, and I'm short on that. I'll literally short it again. And just the way that this is going up right now, this is ideal for bears, at least if you're a smart bear, because you understand probably they squeeze it up and take liquidity above one of those swing highs. And then retail gets excited, says, yeah, Disney goes back to 150 and 180. Likely not the case, in my opinion. It's likely to come back down. We'll see what the reaction is. But I still think that this is eventually going lower. Now, I'm not going to force my will on the market, and that's why I stepped out of my swing short. But I'm very, very, very just this is on my radar. Give me $8 higher and then a bearish confirmation, and I'll gladly try that again.
Yeah, Prime Patrick agrees with you. We're currently up 14% on our bullish play, but we are playing that one too around the 113 level, which actually coincides with your bearish thesis that once it breaks above our final target, we could see that downside back down. I know Lee hit that one from September 30th at $80. It's currently at like $110 range. Austin just recently also had a trade on it. It was an options trade. If you can see, I just posted, I believe he was up like around 225% on that options trade. So a lot of people making money on Disney. Meta was another one. We are up, I think it's 25% in the second trade, 13% in the first trade from our blog trade ideas on Meta, taking that one up from the 355 level all the way to current levels. I know that was another one that Lee got like at $90. I'm wondering what you think of a Meta at these levels that it currently is at, because it had that big run up recently.
Sorry, which ticker is that?
Meta, Facebook.
Yeah. I saw some really wild stuff on Meta and people on Twitter calling for $3,000 a share. I think we can take it one step at a time, right? So this is bullish because it has broken above a previous all-time high there at 384.33. And everybody who has basically been following me around, they know that whenever something is breaking all-time high or all-time low, that's when I have the biggest edge in the market that I can possibly have, because I have a good idea of where that's going to. And we can go to Uber as well. That's also broken an all-time high. That's also on its way to the first FIB level there. So my thesis on Meta is simply that it's bullish and that we're going to hit 573.75 as our 1272 FIB extension from this downswing. So the whole move down here, and I've said this countless of times, but the bigger the retracement, the bigger the impulsive pace. So the fact that you've nuked down from 384 all the way to below 90 is actually incredibly bullish the moment you break that all-time high, because in the bigger picture, we've basically just taken out some stop losses below previous swing lows and we're now making all-time highs. I think just as with NVIDIA, this should go way higher, but that doesn't mean you just long from here, right? We'll take a look here on a daily time frame, what we can see. Well, I actually do think that it is very bullish. Let's see, where did we close today? 470. I want to know what is the open price of this red candlestick here. Let's see, hover over it, 469.88, and we've closed today at 468.32. We got to get above the open price of this daily candlestick. So let's go to the 4-hour. The moment we're going to close a 4-hour candlestick above 469.88, I would give that a long, because this is now the part where people are in disbelief and it has to come down, but it does not have to come down, right? It can just keep going. It's an uptrend. So 573.75 as a prime swing target, 4-hour candle close above, let's say 470, and then you simply put your stop, I would say at 450, slightly below 450, just like that. And this, like, I'm just trying to play the up move here, right? You don't have to keep it all the way to that target, but that is the eventual like main target for the next move up for Meta. So I'm bullish on this. I see no reason to go short until it has at least hit a macro FIB level. I would not put my stop loss lower than this, because we don't know how low it is going to go. If we do fall down in this gap, it becomes, well, at least risky that it can fall to the middle or to the low end of that gap. I would still be bullish, and I would still look at 573.75 as the most likely outcome. So my thesis is 573.75 before breaking back below the previous all-time high. So if you get back below the previous all-time high, that would invalidate my short to midterm long thesis, right? Still bullish on it overall. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for maybe tomorrow. So we're looking for that 4-hour candle close, and this 4-hour candle close that I'm talking about always, right? That has to be during regular trading session. So during the regular trading session, when I speak about the 4-hour candle confirmation, that's not some after hours or some pre-market candle. That has to be when everybody is at the chart. So that's what I would kind of suggest for Meta. Again, you don't need it to run all the way there to get yourself a good RR, risk to reward. You can obviously take profit or trail your stop loss before you get there, but yeah, that's my my suggested thing. So if you want to update the blog or whatever, 4-hour candle close above 470, stop loss 449, target, let's say 520, and then 570.
Perfect. Those are the only stocks that I personally want to look at. I don't know if anyone in the chat has anything that they want to look at. I'm curious, Jay, I know you were talking about, I think it was last week, when it comes to crypto, how you were interested in doing, either a series or just some kind of educational format when it comes to, I know we talk about dividends a lot here, but you were talking about staking when it comes to crypto, which is the basically dividends on steroids, the grown up version of dividends, I guess is the best way of putting it.
It's the more sophisticated, more lucrative, smarter way. No, not smarter way to approach. But I don't want to steal Pookie's idea. It's not rest and retire, but it's rags to riches. But I mean, you could very, 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 and the problem is I don't have that much to fill. Like it's very simple. The idea is you find a coin that is a proof of staking coin. So a decent proof of staking coin, for example, in my opinion, is Atom. I have a bullish bias on this overall. And this is basically a coin where every month, right, like Boogies has his monthly contribution of whatever. I have a monthly contribution to Atom and I stake that. There's two ways that you can go about staking something mostly, which is the flexible way or the fixed way. So flexible means you're staking and you can withdraw your funds at any particular time. And that's usually safer, but that gives less returns than if you were to lock up your coins. Now, I don't have with that account, right? I don't have the goal. Like my idea is that I'm basically staking this stuff until it goes to higher prices. And then when people get interested, I'll close that account and I'll basically, and this is my idea, at some point I want to sell my Atom above $20. But before it gets there, this is all reaccumulation territory, monthly contributions, and staking this with the idea to basically build up your stack of coins and to then also eventually offload it at higher prices. So I'm not saying, yeah, go do this on whatever coin that you can find and has some crazy staking rewards. You really want to do it on a coin that is, I would say, at least in the top 100 of like market capitalization. Otherwise, it becomes very, very risky. So yeah, it's as simple as that basically. And
So with Atom in particular, what are you buying Atom on? Like, what process does it take to stake it?
So it's very simple. I have an account on multiple crypto exchanges. I have an account on the platform Kraken. You can look into that. This is also my on and off ramp to the normal world. And that's an account where I also have my staking. So it's very simple. You just go to an exchange and the exchange provide the staking service. Now, I understand that a lot of people are like a bit against crypto or whatever. They don't completely trust it, but
they used to be against the internet too. So there's that.
I've personally, right, I've never gotten rugged on crypto. That's not to say that it cannot happen, but I have a very high bullshit detector. I've never gotten in Voyager, never gotten in Celsius, never had an FTX account, never got some of these meme coins that completely like got rugged or whatever. Right. So I would dare to say that, well, you can follow me, and if I suspect even in the slightest that there is a problem with either the coin or the staking protocol or the exchange, then I will be the first one to let you know. And I basically have a very close connection to many exchanges with like immediate line to people in the exchange. So I would dare to say that I'm well placed to like provide for the community that none of you are gonna get, oh yeah, we're gonna follow this and then get our money locked up in staking. That's not at all the case. So to me, this is a lower risk approach even, right? It's just a steady income source, steady plan. Now, not with the idea that, oh, I'm never going to sell, right? I'm absolutely going to sell these coins at higher prices to unsuspecting buyers. That is absolutely the plan.
Is there any support level for Atom that you're looking at to exit completely?
Absolutely. So I do the monthly contribution, and my target for Atom, where I want to basically take profit on my back, is $22.16. The reason for that is that it is a support level, the bottom end of an order block here, and when we nuked below it, right, we have never come back up to test that. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen in the next few weeks. We've obviously went sideways already for a long time. But even if Atom goes down from here, I have high conviction that at some point in the future, we are going to make it back to the gray shaded area here on the chart. So once again, I'm not saying I'm in this for all-time high or for a 10x. A very simple 2x from current prices will do. But as I said, like there's no guarantee that we go there before going lower first. So good support levels to look for on Atom, where I will also be for sure DCAing into this if those levels come, right? And when those levels come down, right, remember that everybody is going to be bearish on it. And that is ideal because you want to buy from people who are overly bearish at support. So I have 7.566 and I have 6.158 and then I have 5.55. If it goes lower, we'll reassess, but that is still not a problem to me in the bigger picture. We will, like, that's also the goal with, it's not, oh, I'm parking all my money in a fixed staking protocol, right? It's like building this. Now, the fact that we are not yet at $22 makes all of this interesting to potentially everyone, right? The moment we get there, I mean, I'm getting my rewards, I'm selling my back, and at that point, if you try to do the same thing, well, that's not at that point what I'll be doing anymore. So it's when price is coming down that you need to be interested, and then you can set yourself up so that you can sell at higher prices when everybody else gets interested, and when we are thinking oppositely. So people are going to at some point try to long the breakout here. Can it go higher? Yes, but that is going to be resistance when we come there. So I'll be the first one to get out of this.
Perfect. No, I liked
Now,
having the
I
that
want to
support
add one
levels.
thing in there. Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing. Right, those are 3 very good levels for your DCA and to look for
Mm.
support. But what you can also do, and this is then for just a swing trade on this coin, right? Is or even before you say I'm convinced to start getting involved in this. Well, it's very simple, right? We take our stocks buddy and we see what are we in. Still actually a buy signal on the weekly as well. So I didn't know that, but yeah, it's in a bull zone on stocks buddy as well. Looks very good to me, man.
Yeah, I know. Like when it comes to staking in general, the yield I'm looking up for for Atom, it's looking
Yeah.
like at the low it's at like 9.22%.
Yeah.
At the high,
Exactly.
you can get up to like 15 to 20% if you do it the right way. You
Yeah.
look at stocks like Meta, they just had that big dividend upgrade. They're at 0.43%. Ford's one that I personally like. That's at 4.68%. So that's half, like literally half the lowest
And
staking that Atom gives
you're
you.
getting paid. You're getting paid every week, right? So there's
Yes.
no, oh, let's wait
Every
for a
quarter.
couple of months and then we get another round of our dividend. Hooray! No, it's you get paid every single week in the coin itself. So you're getting paid in the coin,
Mhm.
right? And that is extremely nice if you can do that. If you're staking when things are about to go down, you're going to be left holding a heavy bag. But when you're doing this in reaccumulation territory, it's actually a very lucrative way about going about your crypto business with no need to leverage trade, right? There's no need to leverage trade or anything. But I would need to look into the legality a little bit in the US, because I know that Kraken was a target of a lawsuit by the SEC, and that well, I don't know if they still offer staking in the US, at which point I'm sorry, but I would have to look into that. Like I simply don't have that limitation here. So if anybody here is listening and is not the US, then that will for sure work. That's kind of the only downside with the US and crypto, is that they seem to really crack down on all the exchanges and coins and so on and so forth. But I'll look into other alternatives to stake your Atom, because it's impossible that you can only do it on Kraken. I'm sure you can do it on other platforms as well. It's just the one that I use.
Yeah, I'm looking at Coinbase. It's looking like they have recently staking ability for Atom. It looks like Kraken still does in the US, but that it could be an old article here.
So Snowflake says, I was looking for Atom after you mentioned it before. I still have my Coinbase, but it says I can only buy it with Coinbase wallet. So can I stake from there? Unfortunately, I would have to look that up because I don't have a Coinbase account. I don't know. I haven't been on Coinbase
Yeah, I just
for
posted a link
multiple
there for
years.
you, Snowflake. I would definitely check that
There
out.
you go. That was a reply to that.
Yes.
Perfect.
But I love that you mentioned. I'm actually going to write about this because I think it is important for people to realize, the substantial, yield return on some of these. Obviously, with crypto, it's a much different ball game than when with the stock market. These are publicly traded companies that aren't going anywhere. With crypto, that's not necessarily the case. No one can predict the future when it comes to crypto, which is why it is a lot more risky than your dividends and all that. However, more risk, it does have that double reward factor as well. So it's definitely something to look into as far as educating yourself and all that goes, and going and Titan trading and getting educated by BTCJ over there in crypto.
And that's why I said you got to do this staking, not on just some random coin that you see has a crazy yield. If you need to do it on a good proof of staking coin, that I would say top 100, ideally top 50. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, you can see the coins listed in terms of market capitalization. And anything that is not there in the top 50 is already sketchy, in my opinion. But Atom is for sure in the top 50, I'm pretty sure.
So top 50 to 100.
Oh,
Basically.
Crypto.com has it, and Mexi and Coinbase. Crypto.com is still an exchange that a while back I've spoken negatively about that, and I said that I was bearish on their token. That is still the case, and I still think that Crypto.com is personally that is not an exchange that I would be on. And I know that yes, Crypto.com and oh yeah, it's in the UFC and whatever. Yeah, FTX was in the UFC as well. It all looked like FTX is a very good learner because they were everywhere, right? They were on the Super Bowl, so it's not because you see them everywhere that they're actually in good papers. I think that eventually their Chronos token is going to zero and that their exchange is going to follow. And well, again, I'm the first one to make you aware of the risks. This recent bounce, yes, that's a nice move if you were long in it, but it's not bullish in the bigger picture. This chart right here, that's an AMC kind of chart where eventually you're breaking that 1 FIP and you're going way down lower. The problem with something like this, the moment you go way down lower, you get a domino effect where everybody tries to get out of the exchange and where it goes lower. If you don't believe that is possible, right, you just look at the Luna chart. It's very simple. That is one weekly candle. That's one for the history books there. And there's multiple examples of this as well. So Crypto.com, I would not be staking there. That's like Coinbase, fine. Coinbase is, even though I don't like Coinbase, I don't think that there's a systemic risk of Coinbase going down. I think they're actually a safe exchange. Very government minded. I wouldn't want an account there as well, but it's okay. Something like Crypto.com, I would completely withdraw your funds, get out of there, and never touch it again. Well, yeah, Luna C, well, it's completely went to zero, of course.
And so those of you who are interested, I see Chad jumping in with the NFT PFP. For those of you who are interested in crypto, starting March 1st, we are doing a crypto master course, very similar to the charting one. We'll be posting that in the. I know that Jay's very excited. We'll posting that in the Trading 401 series. I know, Jay. You're over all the, as you call the boomer equities, and you're ready to move on to some education on the crypto, the forex, commodities, and so am I, honestly.
Yeah, my watch list is like equity is just a part of the watch list, right? It's more than that.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's good to diversify. To not just the sectors, not just types of plays, but also assets, and even types of income. Whether it's dividend income, staking income, capital gains income, all that good stuff. We definitely talk a lot about diversification in general. Anything else you want to say while we're still on the recording, Jay?
Not necessarily. I just thank you a lot for keeping updated with all that's really nice what you've got going there with the forum posts as well, like Real Titan style. Thanks for keeping up with that. And yeah, we have an extremely good win rate on those. So
that's crazy, actually.
At any point, if you're in trouble, you stop doing whatever you're doing and you just go to there and you ask Duck and me questions, and he updates everything. It's not like he's missing anything. Whenever it hits entry, you're always on it, man.
I appreciate it. I mean, that's just all about transparency,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we posted losses too. Honestly, if there's even like a possibility of a loss, like if we hit like a possible entry and it goes down to stuff, I'll put the loss on there. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter because you have so many wins that it outweighs all. We can have 10 more 5% losses. We're still going to be at a stupid win rate, which is and the best part about this, Jay, is that these plays that you've been doing. At least for me tracking them, it's been so easy. There's almost boring. I have 20 tickers, 25 tickers on the watch list, and it's boring tracking them because it's just slow moving swing trades that just hit entry and then go to target. It's as simple as that.
Or entry and into stop loss, whatever it is.
Very small stop loss, yeah.
And it's not difficult. The trading strategy that I've laid out here for all of you guys, it's my own. It's not difficult at all. So I'm happy to share it.
Yeah, and just for everyone who isn't aware, we do teach that in the Trading 401 series under Charting Master Course. So
Yeah.
if you know, my suggestion, if you want to take these blog trade ideas, is to
Mhm.
first check that out.
Mm-hmm.
You just can really see how Jay does take
Yeah.
these trades and play these trades. That way, you have a better understanding for yourself when you personally, if you
Mhm.
decide to, take the leap into these blog trade ideas and hopefully get some of these profits.
It's always good that you know what you're getting yourself
Yes.
into first. So educate yourself. It's not like, oh, I need to rush it. Like, no, in 2 weeks there will be other trades. In 4
Yes.
weeks there will be more other trades. It's not difficult to get trade setups at all. You give me a ticker deck and you give me a couple of minutes and I'll give you.
That's
a
literally
setup.
what it is. Like I'm telling y'all, you see those win rates. These aren't like plays that Jay's been like sending me. I go to him like, hey, Mark Zuckerberg is building an apocalyptic bunker. I'm gonna talk about Meta. Can I get a trade idea for Meta? And he just uses technical analysis and he pops out a trade idea, and we're up from 355 to like the 450 range already. It's as simple as that. FOMO hitting hard, says Chag. No, I like them, but it's funny though, because like literally, like these aren't like it's trades that I just bring you a ticker because of a news event. Target's having those stupid
bro, that TKO
tumblers.
that
TKO was a big one.
That TKO trade is something that it's entirely teamwork. Because yes, we got a very nice trade setup on it, but I would have never ever taken a look at that if it wasn't for you bringing it to my attention. When you said TKO, I had no clue that was the UFC Dana White company there. But
yeah.
WWE
now the Rock is now like one of the main board of directors.
Jesus. Okay, I guess that's bullish.
I guess so. I don't know.
Good.
So Diego has the eyeballs. Yeah, I know he's like part of his deal with the board of directors is that he has to return to wrestling for like a event or something like that. Jeez. So that might be bullish if you're into The Rock. But we're going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll stay in the Discord here for those of you who are listening live. I just want to make sure that we cut this off at the 30-minute mark. So people who want to watch us after the fact don't have hours of stuff to sift through. So those of you who are watching after the fact, we hope to see you live next time, 5 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we hope you all make some bread.
Yes.